Hey, welcome back to Wildwood Journal, a mother's delight. I'm Casey. I'm a homeschooling mother of 3 boys, and I wanted to share a video with you guys on what our curriculum choices are for our 2019-2020 school year. Part 1, I'm going to share what we are going to do all together. So our 4th grader and kindergartner and the preschooler, he'll hang out and do as much or as little as he kind of chooses. So for this first video, it will cover our science and history loop, which we will roll into right after morning basket in the mornings. We will do 4-day school weeks and alternate those days as science and history. So instead of doing both of them every single day, we will do science one day, history the next, science and then history. So let's get into it. So I'm going to start with our science, and I wanted to share these wonderful crates. Storage is a big deal for home educating families, and there are these wonderful totes that people will get from Michael's or Hobby Lobby or whatever with coupons. I found these at Walmart, you guys. They're $6 and they stack, and they have these great easy to open handles. They're great for little hands, and they're pretty good size. They hold quite a bit. So I made labels with my Word document and clear contact paper. Just printed them off, stuck them on. Super easy. And then I made it one for each subject, and then specifically for each grade level in language arts and math. So I'm going to open this up and show you what we're doing for science for our first quarter. We are going to focus on nature study. I wanted to keep it super simple. Our kids are young, and we have covered different things of science. We did classical conversations for our first 2 years, and this will be our first year not doing classical conversations, so I really needed to determine what we were going to do for science on my own this year. And with the kids being young enough, we decided to go ahead and start with just nature study. My goal is that they will be able to identify and know the characteristics of hopefully all of the plants that are just right around our house, and then building in on that with insects and birds. We've got some frogs and things like that, and then other animals that can be found around our house. Charlotte Mason was very big on children being familiar with their surroundings. It's a great way to teach geography too. And then we can branch out and go to one of our local favorite parks, or we have friends who have a creek in their backyard that would offer maybe some other. They have a groundhog, I think, that lives in their backyard. So we could add a groundhog to our nature study. So inside this box, I have a wonderful heavy-duty magnifying glass that they got for Christmas, and then we added this neat little deck of cards. It's 52 nature activities, and these are fun because there will probably be days where they're like, I don't know what to draw, I don't know what to do, and we can just pull out this fun little deck of cards, and I'll say, pick a card, and they will pull out one that says colors of the rainbow, and then it tells them what are all the colors of the rainbow. Try to find something around you that matches each color of the rainbow. This can also be played by having someone call out a color and then see who can find something from outdoors in that color first. So 2 different ways to do this one card, and there's just so many choices. There's 52 choices. So I don't think that we will have any problems with boredom on nature study whatsoever. I mean, let alone just creation in and of itself is delightful. So there's that. I also have some watercolors. I love the sketch box. It's a mess. You can tell we use it all the time. but it's got lots of colors to choose from. I should probably tidy it up a little bit. A little sponge for cleaning your brush, and lots of room to mix colors. I also purchased for the kids some really neat crossbody bags that will hold I have a smaller set of watercolors for my oldest, and then I'm probably going to go ahead and get 2 more sets for my other 2, because children could and should be trusted with good quality materials. I think when we purchase better for them, they have a higher regard for it, and therefore will do better to try harder to take better care of it. That's a lot of words. Anyways, so this is kind of my set, but for when we're out and about, the kids will have their own set too. And then we live in Missouri, and I found this field guide. I wanted like an all-inclusive field guide. There's some beautiful field guides of Missouri snakes, Missouri birds, like all the different species. But I wanted like one that I could carry with us when we go hiking and things, and be able to look up anything. So this literally has, it says the Midwest, it cracks me up. It says the Midwest, and then it's like Illinois and Iowa and Ohio, and not what I think of as the Midwest, and I could be wrong. But anyways, like all the animals that are in here, you can pretty much find in Missouri too. So this has proven a wonderful investment for our home life, our love of nature, and will serve us well for our nature study science. I also have binoculars, great for looking at birds and other animals, creatures that may be across the road or whatnot. And then I made this fun little pencil roll-up for, it's got our water brushes and colored pencils. Lots of sharpened colored pencils and sketch pencils. And then it rolls up. So all of this stuff fits really nice in a backpack if we were gonna go out to the nature reserve or our favorite park here in town. And then, oh my goodness, the most beautiful illustrations of nature. I've become a huge fan of this lady. Her Instagram and Etsy is all called Twig and Moth, and she illustrates the most beautiful things. We got these nature journals. I bought them at the end of the year last year, so we have not touched them yet. But I got one for our oldest too. Our preschooler, he's gonna get like just a plain sketch diary, since he's not much into writing yet. And then our older 2 will get to use these. But they're inside, there's a section for the date. They can do the moon, they can document the moon, weather of where we're at, and observations, and then they can draw on this side what they saw. So plants, animals, you know, whatever it is. But this will be specifically for their nature journaling. So I'm really excited to tap into those for our year. So that's going to be our science for our first quarter. For our history, we also, at the end of last year, or I mean, it feels weird saying that because it was just back in March that we started this, but we purchased the Good and the Beautiful history course for year 1, and it's wonderful. The kids have really enjoyed it. They love the audio portion. There's like an audio skit that you listen to that is kind of these 2 kids interacting with the lesson in a historical way, and somehow they provide, well, you can add on the read aloud pack, so it gives you a book for each unit to read through. The Boy in the Pyramid was for our first unit, and then I think The Door in the Wall is for unit 2. So we're gonna, we did all of unit 1 for history at the end of our last school year, and we are going to pick up with unit 2, which is the Middle Ages and the Renaissance. And then you also print off these student explorers I have a 4th grader, guys. I had to print off a new one. So for corresponding lessons, there's a page, there's copywork, there's drawing, there's like they can color pages while they're listening to the audio portion or during your read aloud portion of the lesson. And then it also comes with this big book of history stories, and these pictures and the quality of this curriculum is just fantastic. Like, this is a piece that we will hold on to. We will go through each of the years. There's 4 years, and then we will cycle back through and do it again, because with the Student Explorers, by the time we come back to History Year 1, our oldest will be, well, 4 years, so an 8th grader, and the Student Explorer for him will make him go deeper into the lessons and discover more about history, where for our kindergartner, he can just listen along. He enjoys the stories and the audio portions and things like that, but beautiful illustrations, quality paper, spiral bound, excellent. And we thoroughly enjoyed our first unit, and I'm looking forward to getting into the Middle Ages and carrying on with this curriculum for history. One of the other things that I wanted to add with our history, so we have like our just family read aloud. A lot of times that happens around bedtime when we read to the kids those books. And we have started a book called The Ark, the Reed, and the Fire Cloud. And it's a whole series of books by Jenny L. Coate. And it also takes on the name Epic Order of the Seven. So you can look up these words, and there's a whole series of books, and it starts at the Ark, so the flood, and it follows, the key character is Max and Liz. So Max is this little, he's a Scottish Terrier. Here he is, he's so cute. So there's Max, and then Liz is the cat, and these animals go through history, and they follow like these key events in history. So when we hit our modern history unit, we're gonna actually add in this book as our family read aloud, so in addition to the other read aloud. But anyways, if you're looking for a good read aloud for your family, these books are delightful, and the little kids love them, so our youngest two enjoy listening to them, and then our oldest has really taken a liking to it too, especially if you give Max the Scottish accent that you read it with. Even if it's terrible, just try. The kids will appreciate you, or they'll look at you funny, but all you can do is try. So anyways, those are our choices for our time together learning of science and history. And part 2, I will cover what our 4th grader is going to do for language arts and math. So I'll see you in the part 2 video.